Hey guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about part 2 of your college project. So the first part that we want to focus on is going to be the revenue. So for the revenue, this is going to include things like scholarships that you may qualify for, the Hope Scholarship, which is just in the state of Georgia, the tuition equalization grant, which is for private schools, and then just any savings that you have in general. So first off, looking at the college sample sheet here, you can see you have a revenue section, and you may have two cells, you may have more than two cells, you may have one cell. But first, let's talk about scholarships. So the first place to start would be going to the actual college site or Naviance. If you don't have your Naviance information for logging in, email your guidance counselor. They helped you set that up at the beginning of your freshman year, so they can help you with that. Now, when you look for scholarships, look for things that you can qualify for. Sometimes it may be something as simple as you graduated from a high school in Georgia. One that I received growing up was that I was 6 feet tall and a female. So literally, you can get scholarships for almost anything. So just keep a lookout, do some research, and find whatever you can. If you qualified for them, you can put them in. Make sure that you're looking at how much it pays for 1 year, though. Hope Scholarship is only for the state of Georgia, and the way that we're going to do it is someone who makes a 3.7 GPA or higher is going to have their tuition paid in full. So that means if we look at this, tuition would be cell B5. It wouldn't be B12. We're just talking about tuition, not overall expenses. 3.7 would be someone who basically makes all A's. Maybe they make a B once or twice, but overall they make all A's. A 3.0 GPA is going to be someone who has 90% of their tuition paid. So then coming back to your sheet, it would be equals B5 times 90%, which would tell you how much they would cover. 3.0 means that you make basically all A's and B's. So if you're an A and B student, I would assume that you would get that 90%. Make sure that you show that formula in the cell when you're adding that in. And again, Hope is only for the state of Georgia. If you want more information on Hope, you can simply research it and you'll be able to find that information. Tuition equalization grant is for someone who attends a private high school, which all of you are doing, and goes to a private college in the state of Georgia. So you've already met part of the requirement by going to St. Pius, a private school in the state of Georgia. And so if you have chosen a private college, then you can get that $4,000 equalization grant. Now, something to think about. If you're going to a private college and you're getting this, you're not going to get the Hope paid in full. So you would want to go to the Hope website and see if you get the equalization grant because you're going to a private college, how much money will they give someone who's going there? So you'll have to research that. Monies from personal accounts. So this might be money that your parents, grandparents, anyone is saving up for you, or even yourself. You are saving that money up because you're going to get a job once you get a car. I would talk to your parents and ask them if they know if you have any savings or what they expect you to do, like get a job, and then ask them to help you identify a number. It doesn't have to be the exact number. It can be a rounded number. If they tell you $40,000 for all 4 years, you would need to divide that by 4 because we're only calculating 1 year of expenses. So again, make sure that you talk with your parents to get that number, and if you don't have any savings, there's nothing wrong with that. You will need to get a loan, and so we'll be calculating that in the next section. So after you're done with all of that, you'll total that section using the sum function, and then you'll be able to go to the last section, which is loan. So looking at our example here, you can see our loan section, amount needed, and monthly payment. So your amount needed is going to be how much you're going to need for college, how much money. Well, if your expenses are $14,000 and your revenue is $10,000, you're going to need about $4,000 for college. So if you look at the instructional sheet, you can find that to find the loan amounts, it's total expenses minus total revenue. So that would be the formula that you would use. For the monthly payment, you'll be using your PMT function. You are going to calculate a loan for 5 years on a 5% interest rate. Remember that all of this needs to be broken down for months. And your principal or loan amount would obviously be the number found in cell B18. So you have all that information there that you need to be able to calculate your PMT function. The last page is something that we don't have on our sample, but you can see the tabs. So you'll name your tabs after your schools. You'll have 2 schools rather than 3, and then you'll have a totals tab. And on that total tab, we're going to be comparing the 2 schools. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to link the sheets. So remember, we did that in the theater attendance activity. You're going to start on that total sheet and you're going to link the data over, typing an equal sign in the ending sheet, clicking on your cell in the source sheet, and finally hitting enter. You'll copy all the data over so that we're just seeing total expenses. So looking at this sample, I wouldn't see revenue and loan on the total sheet. I'm just going to see the expenses. Only that information. Then once you have that, you're going to use the total at the bottom. So again, looking at the sample, we're going to use this B12 number. And you'll use it for both schools, the totals, and you'll graph that. So basically you're showing me a chart that shows that your out-of-school or private school is going to be drastically higher than your in-state school. And so you're going to just have 2 bars there showing that. The last thing that you want to do is you want to make each segment of the graph or each data series a different color. So you'll choose a color that's associated with the school. And then of course you'll add data labels. Labels. Remember that when creating any type of chart, you should have a title for that chart, a legend for that chart, and an X and a Y axes. So make sure that you get those titles in there and make sure that they're appropriate for the information. Once you have all of this together, remember that all of your sheets need to fit on 1 page. So they shouldn't be going over to 2. You should also be showing grid lines and headings for every single page in your workbook, so you'll have to go to each sheet and turn that on. You can't turn it on for 1 sheet and have it for all of them. And then once you're done, you can submit that. Remember, if you're having any issues, to email me or drop by, and I can help you out with that. See you next time.